Hello, this is Rich Whitworth, editor of BioPharm International. I'm here again for the final time with Anjan Seltz, who's the co-founder and CEO of Finax Biotech. We've already spoken with Anjan about his methods for candidate selection, about how he's worked with partners, and some of the quality and regulatory aspects. And in this final podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about his thoughts on how products need to be differentiated and the importance of that differentiation for a biosimilar. So welcome again, Anjan.
Good morning, Rich.
So let's get straight into this. You've made it quite clear in your presentation at CPHI that for a biosimilar to be successful in the market, there needs to be a strong differentiating factor. So perhaps you could just tell us a little bit about that.
The current talk about biosimilars is very often just about prices. Differentiation through pricing. And I believe this is a very destructive discussion. If everybody just slashes prices, this will initiate the negative spiral of ever eroding margins. We shall not forget that we are in the field of biologics and we have spent huge amounts of money in product development. It's unlike traditional generics, which cost a lot of money as well, but it's a much more complex area when developing biologics. And all this money you have invested, you need to run amortization on it. So if we all talk about slashing prices, we just slash our own margins, and probably in the end you will not have the return on investment that you would have expected. So I don't like this discussion about biosimilars only being about pricing. I much more like biosimilars being just a new product offering in an existing field of product offerings. If you look at the FSH market, for example, there were the urinary derived products initially, which then have been there was a second generation of products, the recombinant products coming to market, and currently the urinary products are in the market alongside the recombinant products. And even though the recombinant technology is the more modern technology, it was not able to kick out of the market totally the urinary products. And even though the urinary products are offered at quite substantially lower prices than the recombinant products, still the recombinant products make the major parts of the market. So for me, there is no reason to think that you can only establish yourself in a market by slashing prices. There must be other ways of establishing yourself and getting your share of the market at fair prices. So I rather would speak about fair pricing instead of aggressive pricing. Fair pricing meaning over the years that an innovative compound has been in the market, you had some learning curve, and if you go and develop your biosimilar, you should actually translate this industry learning curve into your product pricing. So you should end up with lower COGS probably than the innovator had initially, and these lower COGS shall be transmitted to the healthcare payer. So this is the reason why biosimilars may be a bit lesser priced than innovative compounds. But besides this, the prescribing physician, at least in our field, in the FSH case, the prescribing physician has no clue what a biosimilar is, basically.
Right.
These physicians, they just need FSH in order to treat their patients. So you have to bring forward other aspects of a product than the product just being a biosimilar with a low price. Pricing is one argument, but it's only one of them. There are many other arguments you can work on. You can probably work on your formulation. There are certain formulations. In our case, there are formulations of innovative products which are badly smelling. And as you have to spill a little bit of this formulation before injecting yourself, you will always have this bad smell. And now think of a patient being in an office situation. the patient, she's working at her office desk, and at 10 o'clock in the morning, the prescribing physician told her, you will take your drug at 10 o'clock in the morning. So either she takes it in at the office desk or she goes to the ladies' room. But anyway, there will be this bad smell around because of a formulation smelling bad. Now, we have chosen a formulation that has no smell at all. So this probably is a little differentiating factor which may make the one or the other prescribing physician choose your product instead of the other product. Other differentiating possibilities are, as we do, we work very hard on the injection device component. We are in a self-administration setting. We have let's say in regards to self-administration, we have a non-educated patient, so we need something which is, let's say, foolproof, easy to learn. We worked hard on differentiating our product with an extremely simple, easy to use device compared to current competitive products. Still, there are other differentiation possibilities for differentiation, for example, product packaging. If you look at product packaging, again, in our context of self-administration, there is a competitive product which provides his product in quite a huge box, which is difficult to get it into a women's bag. Well, we package as small as possible, so it makes it more convenient for the patient to take it with her all day long. If you look into even such small things, if I go out and I discuss with the prescribing physician and ask them what would be the perfect FSH you would have on your desk, describe it to me, and they tell me, well, if you have proven safety, efficacy, and a good injection technology, why don't you give me a free alcohol swab directly in the package, so that I don't have to think about handing out the alcohol swab to the patient when I prescribe your product. These are the very little things that you can easily do within your product and will probably create a pull effect from the market.
Well, I think that sort of ties into what you were saying about not thinking of it as a compound, but rather thinking of it as an actual product itself.
I believe it is a very different situation. For example, if you are in an oncology hospital treatment or any other kind of serious illness setting, it may be very different. But in the setting that we are in a self-administration setting. We are in a setting of instead of illness, we are rather in a lifestyle setting. So we believe much more to present our product with consumer goods aspects instead of medication aspects. Because we believe we have physicians that are rather in the consumer goods, within the consumer goods philosophy than in the illness context, and the very same with the patient. And we just have to serve these specific needs. And there may be products where you only have to look at compound factors, but in our area, in the FSH area, we're in a totally different setting, and we push our product rather on the consumer goods side than on the medication, technology, and illness therapy side.
Okay, and I guess that sort of moves on to the idea of actually, once you're ready to market Afolia, how will you bring your message to the market in that way, with a similar kind of consumer mindset, or could you tell us a little bit about your kind of future plans, assuming success in the phase 3?
Well, we have tried to keep this product positioning idea throughout our development and bring it also into our product presentation. So, for example, we have chosen a product color which is purple. We have chosen this product color because it has a feminine touch. We have chosen a product trademark, which has a feminine touch because it more sounds like a feminine name than a male name with a folia. We have also tried with device design. We have tried to transport this positioning idea of a female consumer good product. When we go to market, how we will go to market, I'm sorry, I will not want to speak about this, but
of course, very interesting indeed. And I guess finally, perhaps to tie everything together, I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about your ideas for project execution. How can you move this project on with a speed that you hope for, and what are maybe some of the pitfalls?
We have moved from cell bank to the end of a phase 3 within 4 years for the one or the other reason. We have done as fast probably because we don't believe that the project manager is in charge. The project manager, if he's just one poor guy in an organization who has to bear all the responsibility and he's left alone in his office, it will be difficult for him to move such a project forward because there are so many people involved, so many roles involved, in our case so many external companies involved. I believe you need to have a full a responsibility, not sharing, but say there need to be many stakeholders pushing forward the various elements of your project. This is the execution spirit that I believe is necessary to go fast forward. And the other part is out of the operational team. You need to have stakeholders beyond the project manager, which are very closely involved. If in your company or in your organization such a project ain't a priority, it will not move forward, move on. The only thing that brings the medication to the patient in the end is if you have a high rhythm of decision taking and if you have also a very open spirit that makes people move on with their responsibilities instead of being scared and being stuck in their office.
And do you think that kind of attitude, as you said, it's maybe a company mindset that there is this open nature and I guess a sharing of the responsibility. Do you think that is possible to translate that mindset to a larger company, or do you think actually in many cases sort of smaller startup companies are well positioned to take advantage of that ability to change a mindset or to create its own mindset?
I haven't the experience of moving forward fast in large pharma companies. My previous experience was in a larger medical technologies company where I was asked to realize something very quickly, also a huge project very quickly. And it was possible to do it in such a larger organization as well. The thing that made it possible was that the line organization, which comes from top to bottom, was supported by this matrix project organization, and the head of the line organization and me as the head of the project organization, we actually shared offices. So this gave us the possibility to, on the one issue, we would say, okay, we'll bring it down through the line. On the other issue, we would say, okay, we'll bring it into the organization horizontally through the project organization. So, and both our heads were tightly knit to the top management of the company. So it was possible also in a larger company, but it is only possible in a larger company if there are those who do the execution, if they stick their heads together. If both of them do individual career planning and they begin to shoot at themselves, shoot at each other, it won't help the project. So only if you bring these alpha people into one office and you lock them up in there and say, okay, you first agree on what you want to do, and then you bring it out, you bring out your common message out into the organization, then it should also be possible in larger organizations, I believe.
Right, very interesting. Is there anything else you'd like to add, or maybe you can, I guess, finalize with the kind of maybe a projection into the future? But I guess there may be a chance for us to do a follow-up podcast at a later date. But could you just give us the kind of what you expect to be happening over the next sort of 6 months or so?
Well, in regards to our company and product, we'll do what we have done over the last 4 years. We'll be kicking all our partners daily, at least, in order to bring the project forward and to bring the product forward. We'll be continuously addressing open issues with the various authorities that would be ready to support us in our way to have an approval. This is kind of the routine we have been doing the last 4 years. We'll be doing it also for the next 6 months or years. In the biosimilars markets, I don't know if there is really one big biosimilar market. I rather believe there is a compound-specific situation always. And within our situation, we know that the one or the other company is also in the race to be the first to market. We'll see what happens, who will be first. And I'm happy to be in this competition. I'm looking forward to compete with these companies being on the same target currently. And one very last thing I would like to address in regards to biosimilars, what I think is a very sad story is the biosimilar paradoxon, I call it, whereas the originator industry always draws a picture of fear of biosimilars. That's something strange and not seriously developed and done in some backyard biotech facility, I don't know where. Actually, biosimilars are very sound products. If only you have done a sound development, you will get an approval. So biosimilars are good products, and in many aspects, because you use the latest technologies, you use current state-of-the-art technologies and processes, in some aspects these products may be even better or better understood compared to innovative compounds. And what the biosimilar industry rather has to do is, instead of just slashing prices, going out and say, okay, look, we have a sound product, and that should be the message about biosimilars instead of slashing prices.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for all of your time on these 3 podcasts, and hopefully we look forward to either reading or hearing something about Afolia and Phinox in the very near future. Thank you so much, Anjan.
Thank you, Rich. It was good speaking to you.